All right, we are back with our 2022 NFL season breakdown. I picked all 272 regular season games. I broke down each team, what you can expect from this upcoming season. And now I know I'm 100% right on all these picks. Injuries be damned, the mystery and competitiveness of the NFL. I know I'm 100% right. You can take that to the bank. If you missed it yesterday, we opened up with the AFC West breakdown. Put a little link up here in the description if you want to check that out. But today, we're heading to the NFC East, a very 50-50 division. Half good, half bad. It's really, really interesting to see. But before you get into that, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Hit that like button. Share this video with your friends if you want to let them check it out. It really helps the channel out a lot. We're growing like crazy. But all right, let's get into it. The NFC East.
Oh, yeah! Let's go, baby! Let's go!
Start this thing off with our newly named Washington Commanders. Okay, so somehow this team last season went 7-10. I frankly have no idea how they did it. They had no actual quarterback after Ryan Fitzpatrick went down in week 1. This was a super weird team last year. The defense was massively inconsistent, lost Chase Young, their best defensive player, to a knee injury towards the middle of the end of the season. They had no quarterback play, a stable of running backs, and really the only offensive weapon they had is scary Terry McLaurin. But don't get me wrong, Terry McLaurin is an absolute monster on the outside and does not get enough love, I think, around casual NFL circles. But they got a dilapidated stadium, an owner and a front office who are now surrounded in controversy, and a new team name that is quite possibly, I think honestly, the worst name in professional sports. Good God, the Commanders is so bad. They should have just stuck with football team, honestly. It probably would have been a lot better. So there is a lot going against this team. But hey, it's not all negative for those of you who want to look optimistically. They did add Carson Wentz to play quarterback, gives you some stability at the position you would think. Drafted John Dotson out of Penn State, so another wide receiver to pair with Terry McLaurin. Go catch the football. But honestly, this entire season rests on the quarterback play. Wentz is a shell of himself after his elite season in 2017. He is nowhere near that. We know how this played out. What looked like it was going to be an MVP, him leading his team to a Super Bowl. He's never been the same. I don't know if he's got shell shock, ghosts, demons, PTSD, whatever it is. But now he's on his third team in 3 seasons. Last year kind of finished as a disaster for the Indianapolis Colts, losing in week 18 against the Jaguars to miss out on a playoff spot. They shipped him out of Indianapolis. The Commanders just looking for any sort of stability at quarterback. And honestly, it's not a ringing endorsement when you say 3 teams in 3 years for a guy as young as Wentz is. He's really not that old, but I'm totally off the Wentz wagon. His turnover tendency is way too high. He lacks so much awareness, and he just flat out makes bad decisions, and it will be a disaster for this Washington team. Defense is missing their best player to start the season. Chase Young, not going to be available when they start this season, and they're just not going to be able to recover from the turnovers, from the bad mistakes. There are going to be a lot of short fields the defense are going to be facing, and it's going to be a long season, I think, for the Commanders here. Washington fans, I'm sorry. I know it's awful, but hey, maybe this will get you to sell the team, Dan Snyder. Maybe this will find you your next elite quarterback. I got him finishing in absolute dead last in the NFC East with a 3-14 record. God bless Washington fans. I hope you make it through here.
Oh, yeah! Let's go, baby! Let's go!
All right, time to head on over to the city of brotherly love. Everyone's favorite group of fans and people, the Philadelphia Eagles. Yes, I know everybody loves this group of gang. And honestly, this team was a surprise last year. First-year head coach Nick Sirianni, a lot of question marks around him. Young quarterback Jalen Hurts. Would he be able to pass in the NFL? There was a lot of big question marks heading into that season. They drafted the small frame Devonta Smith out of Alabama. Was coming off a Heisman Trophy, but was like, can he get it done in the NFL? And they grinded out a 9-8 record, made the wild card berth, did not get out of the first round, unfortunately. But it's a massive, massive move in the offseason that has everyone buzzing about the Eagles. They instantly upgraded the offense, trading for Tennessee Titans wide receiver A.J. Brown, a huge, huge get. And like I said, pairing that with second-year receiver Devonta Smith, who was absolute money for them down the stretch. I think this is a very good offense. Miles Sanders in the backfield as long as he can stay healthy. Jalen Hurts progressing along the way you expect him to. I think this offense is super, super dangerous, super, super explosive, and they are going to be a handful for everyone to deal with. And now let's look at the defense. Vastly improving their secondary with the acquisition of James Bradbury and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to pair with Darius Slay already. Those are 3 lockdown corners they're going to have on the back end. Add Hassan Reddick to go get after the quarterback. This team definitely needed a pass rush. This is a very, very solid group on defense. They're going to be able to grind out games, run the football, explosive passing game, get leads, and protect these leads. That's the biggest key with this team. I love their schedule on top of it. Very, very, very favorable schedule for the Philadelphia Eagles. All their biggest games are at home. Their 2 toughest road games, at the Cardinals, at the Colts, both indoor stadiums, helps out a lot. But at home against the Packers, Vikings, Titans, and the Saints, those are big teams that thrive at home, not necessarily the best on the road. So I think everything is in front of this team. They're going to seize this opportunity. I know there's a lot of buzz around the Eagles, and I am one of those people who are on the hype train. I like Jalen Hurts. I think he's going to do just enough there. I think the Eagles win the NFC East with a blistering record of 13-4. I think this is going to be the surprise of the season for most people. I think the Eagles are great this season. 13-4, great schedule, quite possibly a 1 seed in the NFC, but 13-4 and your NFC East champions. Big shock, I know, but I have no problem saying this. I love the Eagles this year. I mean, I hate the Eagles for what they did to my team, but I think they're going to be really, really good this year and a shock to a lot of people who aren't paying too much attention.
Oh, yeah! Let's go, baby! Let's go!
All right, time to head over to the Big Apple. What's there to say about the New York Football Giants? Man, oh man, 4-13 last year, bottom 3 in defense, absolutely dead last in offense. Head coach Joe Judge was shown the door, kicked out of town, was really disaster experiment for them. Now they did bring in one of the hottest names in the head coaching pool, Bills offensive coordinator Brian Daboll, so you got a little juice there, but honestly, this team is just flat out bad. They lost their best defensive player in James Bradbury to division rival Philadelphia Eagles. Solid role players in Jabril Peppers, Logan Ryan, Nate Solder, and Evan Ingram all out of town. This just takes away from an already very limited roster talent-wise, so I do not like everything that is going on there. Now, they do still have Leonard Williams in the middle there on the defensive line. Great defensive tackle. Really solid for them. And I loved their draft this year, honestly. Evan Neal, great offensive lineman to pick up out of Alabama. Kayvon Thibodeau to go rush the passer out of Oregon. Now, he is going to be out for a little bit with a knee injury he suffered in the preseason. Say what you want about the cut, hit, dirty hit, clean hit. It doesn't matter. It's legal, and he's out. It's kind of a bummer. And this really all falls on quarterback Daniel Jones. God, I think he's just a complete bust. It was a super head-scratcher of a pick coming out of Duke. Dave Gettleman, good God, God bless you there with that draft pick. He just does not get the job done. He turns the ball over way too much. It felt like it was a fumble a game for this guy for the longest time. He lacks the accuracy. The leaked film that's come out of Giants camp is absolutely atrocious. The man can't make 5-yard passes. Now, I'm not going to freak out about little leak films from training camp. Guys are working on certain stuff you don't necessarily know, but it's not a ringing endorsement. They do have Tyrod Taylor as a backup quarterback. The wide receiver core is all over the place. They signed Kenny Golladay. They thought that was a big ad. I mean, the guy can't even catch a football anymore, it feels like. It's just so much going on there. They lack offensive weapons. Saquon Barkley always hurt, it feels like. Now he's talking about coming back, showing how he's a dog. We'll see. It just seems like he always gets hurt. I just don't see this team improving at all this season. I do have them finishing 3rd in the NFC East. It's not that big of a jump here. I told you how bad I thought the Commanders are going to be. I think they're going to be 4-13. I think this is a total blow-up job. They're going to have to go get a new quarterback, and Brian Daboll is going to be given the time to go get this quarterback. Honestly, if you're a Giants fan, you want to be terrible. You need a quarterback. They've been searching for their quarterback since Eli Manning. I mean, it's just so far along off from when the Giants used to be good, the OBJ days. It's just really tough to see. Hopefully they find their guy. There are a lot of quarterbacks at the top end of this draft. They're going to be picking up there. They're going to get their guy, and I do trust Brian Daboll to eventually right this ship. I just think you're a couple years out. So 4-13 this season. tough one for New York sports fans.
Oh yeah! Let's go, baby! Let's go!
Now the team everyone loves, or everyone loves to hate, America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. Last year was a great season for Dak and the gang. A high-powered, potent offense, a feasting and opportunistic defense led Dallas to a 12-4 record and an NFC East title. However, it all fell apart in the wild card round at home against the 49ers. Really, really tough way to end the season. Now, the boys enter this season with feels like an abnormal amount of questions for a team who just went 12-4 and is bringing back its starting quarterback. The offseason was not kind to Dallas, losing receivers Amari Cooper and Cedric Wilson. Also lost a couple of beef on the offensive line with Lyle Collins and Connor Williams, and now losing starting left tackle Tyron Smith for most of the season. This was all going to rest upon Dak's shoulders. Now, I do fully expect the defense to take a small step back because honestly, it was ridiculous how often they turned the ball over and how often they scored off it. They were blocking kicks for touchdowns. They were running picks back. They were scooping and scoring. It was just a ridiculous amount of touchdowns. So I expect them to take a small step back. But honestly, Micah Parsons is an absolute stud. Should be even better following up his Defensive Rookie of the Year campaign. I expect him to be a menace out there on the defense. He is going to be a force to be reckoned with for a long time in this league. Trayvon Diggs, massive question mark at corner. Does he force turnovers? Yes. Did he give up the most receiving yards in the NFL last season? Yes. So he's kind of all over the place. You just don't know what to expect. Dallas needs to find a way to get every ounce of production out of the run game, squeeze every last drop they can out of Zeke, and let Pollard do the rest. Dak is best when they can run the football. I mean, most QBs are best when they can run the football, but Dak's numbers are drastically different. 100-yard rusher, no 100-yard rusher. It's like night and day with Dak. You don't really see it too much with all these other quarterbacks, especially at the pay level he is. I like Dak. I think his leadership qualities are through the roof, but clearly he's lost some edge coming off that ankle injury. He was best when he could roll out, power run, throw on the run, create some plays when they broke down a little bit. And he's kind of lost that coming off that ankle injury. Now, it might come back. It might not. You just don't know. It's impacted his running where I think he's best. Now, I do think CD does a nice job stepping into that one receiver spot. There were some question marks there. I think he's going to do a good job. Do I think he's going to be an elite number one? No. Do I think he's going to be a good, serviceable number one? Absolutely yes. Now, they did have James Washington. He's going to start the season on the PUP. Michael Gallup is coming back, but he's coming off of an injury. So there are some question marks again at the wide receiver spot. They do have Dalton Schultz at tight end. Very solid tight end. They're going to be able to get the job done with him. Safety valve for Dak. But this really, like I said, relies on the running, relies on the offense. So you already know I have the Eagles winning this division. So the big question is, do Dallas find a way to get into the playoffs? There's just too much on Dak's shoulders, I think. So the answer is no. It's not a super favorable schedule. A lot of the tough games on the road at Green Bay, at Minnesota, to name a few out of the NFC North. Not the best places to play on the road. It's just going to be really tough. You lose your Pro Bowl left tackle for most of the season, probably all of the season. Honestly, a coach in Mike McCarthy who does not move the needle at all, I think. Very mediocre coach. Honestly, underperformed with Aaron Rodgers. They make way too many stupid mistakes, way too many penalties, this team. I don't think the boys get the job done. I don't see them improving, really. I think they finish just on the outside looking in at 9-8. Really tough spot for the Cowboys. Now, they're going to be able to clear some cap next year, and I think there are some positive changes. They have a lot of cap space. They can basically buy a whole new team for next year. But this year, I think is going to be another typical 500 type season for the Cowboys, and they finish up just on the outside looking in. All right, that's going to do it for us this week. Let me know what you guys think. Am I way too high on the Eagles, way too low on the Commanders? Am I wrong about the Cowboys, or are they just going to revert back to the mean? Let me know what you guys think. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends if you're interested. We're going to be heading back to the AFC tomorrow. Swing by to check out what it is. That's a little teaser, not going to tell you, but it's an AFC division again tomorrow. 3 o'clock every day this week, leading up to the opening start of this season. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Again, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, share this video with your friends, and I'll see you all tomorrow.